Hello, this is Vulturefire, and today's video is going to be another run with basically the same Shah'Ru list as previously. I've changed it a little bit to account for the nerfs. I'll go through the changes here in a moment. Let me pick up market stuff real quick while I'm thinking about it. Let's grab mana, reroll, recoverable health. So the deck, you may remember, if you have seen the other video I did with this, is that we are using Reckless Chase to summon shades, and then we are killing them for value. One of the cards that I am not sure if I still want is Execution. It is a card that I know several of the other players in the Discord are huge fans of this card. I have found it to be a little bit inconsistent. I think I am probably going to cut it for Sadistic Glee, which is another card that I don't know if I have, which is one of the new generic cards, which is draw 3, gain Vengeance 5 if an enemy or ally died this turn. I'm going to add that, and I think I'm also going to swap this Siphon card for a Resolute Focus. I think we have enough discard outlets here between just the Tricky Focuses and the Rummages in the starting deck to make things work. So one of the key notes so let's go over the nerfs real quick. So the first nerf is that several of the shivs do less damage. I don't remember the exact numbers, but Reactive Shiv and Serrated Shiv and Poison Shiv all now have base damage that is lower than it was before. Now the base damage of them was never very high, but it is kind of noticeable in early fights, especially when you're trying to rely on a lot of shivs. They don't do quite as much damage as previous. That said, Poison Shiv does apply more poison than it did before. It used to be 3, and now it is 5. Other cards, you have Phase Mark, which gives Mark 1 and Vulnerable 2 to any enemy. So this existed before, but it was bugged and didn't work. So Mark now works properly, and Mark is that whenever a creature with Mark dies, we draw a card for each stack of Mark on it, and because of Shah'Ru's level 7, the Mark will then move to a different enemy, which hopefully will be another small enemy that we can easily snipe and keep going. Aerial Stratagem I don't think changed. Eviscerating Strike didn't change. Handful of Knives got pretty brutally murdered. It's still not bad. It is 3 mana, you get 1 of each of your shivs, and upgraded it goes to 5 mana to get 2 of each, which is still a pretty considerable amount of damage, quite a large number of hits, but it is noticeably worse. So this card used to be gain 6 mana, was discard 2 if you do gain 6 mana. Now you gain 3 mana if you have no shield, and if you discard it, you lose 3 shield and you get 1 mana. So this sort of supports the Venomous Maneuver, have no shield play, or if you want to play Peace of Mind, this also works with that. Fey Ruse now loses you 8 health instead of 6. That is a pretty significant change because that means that it is no longer break even. Ferric Antics didn't change. Forbidden Knowledge now costs 1 mana instead of costing 0 mana, and it no longer is played for free on discard, which was kind of busted. It should never have done that. That was absurd. So Irritating Dust didn't change. Blade Idol didn't change. Tricky Focus didn't change, but Tricky Focus Plus did. So Tricky Focus Plus, you now have to discard 2 instead of just discarding 1. Which is a pretty noticeable downside. It is still occasionally a worthwhile upgrade if you find yourself in a position where you often have too many cards in hand and need space for your shivs, which can happen if you are high on fatigue and trying to just play off of just your just the mana cards and the stuff you can discard. So Reckless Chase didn't change, Execution didn't change, Fey Barrier didn't change, Venomous Maneuver, it now only creates 1 Poison Shiv instead of 2, but like I said, the Poison Shiv does do a little bit more poison, so it's a little bit less poison overall and fewer hits, but thanks to Mind Sap, it's a little easier to hit that condition, so it balances out. Upgrade is 2 and 2. So, as far as cards in the deck go, I am now using Fey Mark. I am using Forbidden Rites still, because that summons into Vengeful Shades. Aerial Stratagem. Demonic Power. Demonic Power, I'm not certain if I want it. We do, generally, I think we have pretty good ways of stacking Powerful otherwise. And we can't always afford the health, so I think I may cut that one. Vampiric Strike is great for healing. A Handful of Knives is just always good. Rupture Strike, it was so-so. I'm not sure if I like it or not. I think that it was a little too tricky for me to get enough value out of it to be happy. Lingering Ritual I'm trying. I think it may be worse now because we have fewer... it's harder to get quite as many shivs. Royal Coffers is actually interesting because we do have other ways to get treasures. So that may actually be a potential consideration. I think I want to try it and see if it works. And I want to try and bring Mystic Shadow Blast back in. Just because being able to... Oh no, I want to bring in Hexing Strike because I want Corrupt. That is very, very good. Then we just need make sure we have ways to apply Vulnerable. Give me a second. All right. So let's see. We need ways to apply Vulnerable. Vicious Retort might be worthwhile. The problem with Vicious Retort is it does require you to be actually, you know, getting attacked. Or you have to be evading, which means you have to be getting attacked to some extent. Oh, right. Intimidating Strike is now potentially a good card here. Forgot about that. Which is that so Intimidating Strike changed. It now also gives you Powerful 2, in addition to giving all enemies Vulnerable 2 in week 2. See, Vicious Retort is okay, like I said, but I don't... We're not always going to be winning on turn 1, but we will be winning pretty quickly most of the time. As far as cards to cut go, let's see. I think Secret Cache is still relatively low value. I think Pact of Insight is not quite where this deck wants to be a lot of the time. I think this seems fine. So we have various discard cards. We have Treasure Map in particular is very valuable to us as a way to get card draw that is unaffected by fatigue. Prodigious Idol is good in the Poison deck, but I don't think it quite is what we are looking for in this particular list. But it absolutely is good in Shah'Ru decks, in a lot of Shah'Ru decks, just I don't think is what we want in this one. I think we're going to roll with this. I still haven't actually found Mana Bolt. I don't know if it's any good. I keep wanting to try it and just keep not seeing it. So, all right, that was like nearly 8 minutes of talking about the deck, and we're going to see how this run goes. And we're going to hope that it doesn't crash, because that has happened a few times. Or not crash, but black screen. But a lot of the bugs have been fixed. Hopefully we won't hit bugs again, but we'll see. Okay, so Tower Shield is very bad. This is fine. We'll take it. It's not exciting, but it's fine. As far as monster cards go, I think we do want to get potentially Mana Font. I really hope that this gets changed back to being Envenom. I think as Poison Blood it is just very low value. I don't think we quite want Corrupted Strike. We don't have Toxic Cloud, which I think we would need to make that a consideration. I don't know how much we care about Shocking Grasp. We may go the event here. We'll see what ends up happening. Shocking Grasp tends to be pretty bad on Shah'Ru just because you end up playing a lot of cards that aren't doing a lot of damage. So we're going to get Poison out. So the nice thing here is this should kill. We're just going to turn Plundering Focus on. Oh, I meant to change that for an Infected Focus. I forgot. That's fine. Something to change for later. Alright, so we didn't finish the fight turn 1, but we have plenty of evasion, so you know that works out. So that one's fun. We get to alright, so you're guaranteed to draw mana here. Because we had enough mana cards in the deck, there was no way to not draw a mana card. So we're now very vengeful. Which, the Vengeance isn't actually that valuable a lot of the time for Shah'Ru, just because it's a percentage-based increase, and when you are largely doing low damage per hit, but that's still lethal. Let's go Demonic Greed. It seems potentially very good. I do need more mana, just kind of always more mana. But I really like having the extra card draw option. See what we find. Okay, let's discard this. So the advantage to this is that it does involve playing quite a few cards, which works out nicely when you're trying to do a bunch of whatever. You're trying to play with bleed. So now we can get a kill. And then draw some cards. And then really kind of hope that we find some more mana here. That'll work. I think we are probably just going to trip this twice. Unfortunately, the vulnerable that we applied on ourselves does mean we're going to explode here, and we do not have any protection against that incoming arcane detonation. Just nothing we can do really about it. So, I don't love the passive, but it does occasionally help. In this case, it meant that the bleed didn't leave here, which is why this one is still bleeding. And so now, that gets us. So yeah, this is kind of why I wanted to bring in Royal Coffers, because we do occasionally end up with quite a few treasures. And that'll kill. And if it kills, it doesn't summon. Which is not a bug, that is just a deliberate thing, because the fight is over. Everything's dead. I think we'll take Contemplate. Yeah, we'll just take the event here. Rip. Did get the fight. This is kind of the worst event to get here, because this event is just a normal fight in terms of rewards. So you don't get any of the benefits of like we would have gotten from an elite fight. And we also didn't dodge a fight. So we don't, so we're going to have to pick up a card here, and we aren't going to get any bonus reward. We would have been better off taking the elite path, it turns out, but there was no way to know that. And I think this particular event, I think, is the reason why Area of 1 events are much riskier than other areas, because if you get this event, there is nothing you can, there is no alternate thing for this event. A lot of events have alternate options where you will avoid the fight. And that's just not the case with this one. If you roll this event, you are just getting a fight. Okay. Okay. So this will kill and throw all of that over. So our goal here is to be able to kill without having to trip the poison. I think, because I think we ideally want to move all of the poison over here. Like so. All right. And now we take no damage. And we just go. Bonk. Easy enough. Okay, I think we need the Predator's Focus. And Scroll of Recall is pretty good. Strike, the Burning Blade isn't bad, but there are a lot of weapons that will give us plus damage, so I don't think it is a priority pickup. And Burn is not a debuff we get a particular amount of value from, because we don't have any synergies with Burn. Okay. So Fey Barrier is great because it will give us that free evasion that will help us in the event that we end up having to actually pass turn. Do that. Just going to get just some damage out. Let's get all of that vengeance. Delicious, delicious vengeance. So it is, of course, difficult to evade that many hits, but I do plan to just kill this so that it's not a problem. And there we go. I think that was the turn 1 win. Forbidden Knowledge. It's no longer completely overpowered. It's just very, very, very good. The hardest fights for this deck, which you will see when we get there, are fights where we can't fights where we just don't have space to do summons, because we are summoning enemies, not allies, so the dedicated ally summon slot is not going to work for us, because we are not summoning allies. Pitch that. I think bleed is more important at this point. We can draw more. I think we pitched that. We do really want to get out that Venom, because that is going to be very important to us. So it may look like we are largely just spinning our wheels, and I mean, to some extent we are, but the reason that all of this nonsense is worthwhile is because that we are gaining powerful stacks by doing this ridiculous nonsense, which means that we are actually getting an advantage out of repeatedly summoning and killing enemies. Also, it's just kind of funny. Okay. And then, so we're going to end turn. We are now doomed. The other thing is we end up with a lot of evasion, because every time we kill one of these things, we get a stack of evasion. But also, like you can see, Reckless Chase is now 11x3 damage, because we have summoned a lot of... because we are at 5 powerful. And so that means that Reckless Chase is now very, very good. Just cards. Cool, that's exactly what I wanted to see. We can now bleed that. We can Reckless Chase, which will turn these on. I think at this point, we don't want to Reckless Chase this one because we want to be able to just get the kill. That is one of the tricks with this deck, is figuring out when to stop summoning and actually go for the kill. We don't have a vulnerable source yet, which makes Hexing Strike awkward. So we could, I think we take the phase mark instead, which, like I've said, I don't know that it's good, but it is funny. We're absolutely not taking heavy plating. Curse Horseshoe is normally very good, but we don't have any cleanse. We may not pick up any cleanse. We don't have any purity, and we do play a lot of cards, so the Arcane Leak is actually a very, very big downside. So we're just going to take the Twin Daggers. And as far as upgrades go, I do really like Phase Mark Plus, because I think that is just an overall far more valuable card, because then it's actually positive on card draw. But Demonic Greed Plus is also kind of a nonsense card. And Reckless Chase Plus does absurd amounts of damage. Fade Barrier is reasonable because it's evasion too, but I don't think we need it quite yet. Plundering Focus Plus. That's actually very, very good. I hadn't really looked at Plundering Focus Plus. And we're moving on. So we're going to go through the 2 elites. It's possible that the events are more worthwhile, especially since we already know that we've gotten kind of the worst event out of the way. But I do not want to risk it. Okay, so we are going to do that, which drew us a card because it was marked. Interesting, the mark didn't move. That's a bug. Neither did the other buffs. Let me report that and make a note of the time, about 19 minutes. All right, sorry about that. I'd say as though you actually had to wait for me to type, but you didn't. Point being, I reported a bug, so hopefully that won't happen to you guys once the beta goes live. Alright, so we do need to find some way to actually clear out space in hand and kill one of these dorks. That one's dead. Losing the mark is pretty annoying. That was obviously a key part of our strategy. Let's see what happens again. Because if it does, I think we probably want to get rid of... okay, that time it moved. So I wonder if it's related. No, because the other time it happened, it was... Sorry. Was trying to sort of mentally speculate on what might be the reasons for why these bugs are happening. I'm voting on this one. I meant to be voting on that one. There we go. London Focus Plus is completely reasonable. You get more evasion. And there we go. Okay, treasure map is very, very good. I think that's what we take. Although, like, Intimidating Strike is tempting, but treasure map. So, pitch the treasure map. Pitch the barrier. I think we kind of want to find this. Yeah. Trying to think. This won't kill that. Let's pitch that for the extra reactive shiv. And then we can do this into that. Pop you. I'm deciding if I want to play this. I don't think I actually want to play this sadistically. I don't think I have the mana for it anymore. I want to kill this before I use this, because this is going to be so much damage that, yeah, I wanted to just get it on the big guy. Because I think we can get this kill here. If we draw a card first, now we get to move all the poison over. Which means that now if we pitch that, sure, we will have the ability to play this. So a lot of Shah'Ru, one of the big things with Shah'Ru, when you're playing Shah'Ru, is figuring out how you're going to successfully leverage the reactive shivs. Because the reactive shivs are always going to be free to play, which is very, very useful. So I think we need another mana card, probably. But it's really hard to pass up a second Forbidden Knowledge, because that card is just kind of nuts. We already have 2 Tricky Focuses. I'm not averse to having a third one, but I really love having Forbidden Knowledge. It's just so good. So like this fight, we are going to have to kill one of the Lore Blossoms before we will have the ability to get additional cards. So the reason to start with that one is that then... Okay, so I think it is specifically related to summoning over. Alright. Anyway. We don't have space for another summon yet. But we can do this. Replace it again. For value. And that'll kill it. We can get Envenom going. See if we can keep the shade the mark this time. We did. So yeah, I think it is connected to specifically summoning over. One Day apparently doesn't think that's it, but he'll look after this, after I post the stream, I guess. So we unfortunately don't quite, oh, we did have, for some reason I thought we didn't have the damage. I guess I was wrong. Something that I'm sure if I went back and watched I could catch why. Knowing what's going on is difficult. Let's pitch that. Blundering Focus. And this is not quite lethal damage, but there we go. This will kill, and that will end the fight. So the fight ended with 8 powerful, which isn't bad. I do still want to try Mana Bolt, but I also want to try Intimidating Strike, and this seems like a great Intimidating Strike point. Hexing Claw is not bad. I do really want Duplication Tome, though, because Duplication Tome does unfair things. So the trick here is killing the first one so that we can start going off. So we do have several tools to aid us in this. Okay, so we've got the card that we want to get the kill with. We're going to pitch that. Okay. So if we play this and we can't get the kill, by the way, we just take a bunch of damage, which is annoying. There we go. And that gives us a kill. So I do think we want to Sadly, because that's going to let us do a lot of damage. Okay. Let's see. I think we're just going to pitch the phase mark. I don't think we're playing it this turn. Kill you. Discard. We are not going to be able to afford that, unfortunately. We really would like you to go away, because you are doing... you are doing Arcane, which we still can't deal with. Let me think. Let's just keep throwing cards. And then, yeah, now we've got lethal on this one. Boom. Makes our day easier. And we could duplicate this now, but I don't know that we want to. Just pitch that. We can, yeah, just do this, which will not quite get us the kill, but... Oh no, it will. I lied. And then we'll just evade these incoming hits, and it should be easy enough to finish off this fight. Boom. Don't even have anybody to show off for. We don't have anybody left to intimidate. They're all dead. Lingering Ritual seems very good. We are still playing a lot of cards every turn. I do also kind of want the other card that I can get there, but... Alright, so... I think Plundering Focus Plus has done incredible work. We will take that. I don't think there's any cards here that we really want to get rid of quite yet. So our goal here is we don't really want to fight Treants. Emerald Dragon is fine, because we're just going to evade everything. I want Ice Shards. Like a Mystic Ritual, but I'm fine not having it. I think we're going to reroll for Ice Shards when we get there. Okay. So the shades are now tougher because we're in the next area. That's just how this works. So we're going to Serrated Shiv, make vulnerable, because our goal is to get the kill with this, which is actually going to be pretty easy. There we go. Alright, so we now have just so many cards. We're going to pitch that. Gonna kill and summon again. can get Envenom going, which is always nice. This is not quite lethal, but that's lethal. Get out more poison. We can't quite afford this yet, but we're getting close. Now we can. And if we play only one cost cards, we're guaranteed to be able to afford it once we're done. Although, no, that isn't quite into the fight yet. For some reason, I thought that was going to put us in a position to end the fight immediately. There we go. Now we're good. And we can Lingering Ritual for the win. And we can take Surprise Attack, which is not bad. I also do want that Predator's Focus, but I like having the ability to get it ambushed up, just because guaranteed crits are fun. We don't need that. None of this really does anything. I guess Cleansing Pearl has some marginal value in some cases. We weren't offered Corn Focus, which is a bit of a shame, because Corn Focus is particularly good here. We're going to have to target that. We don't have a choice, so may as well get that going. Okay, let's see if we get this bug again. Oh, but we have to put a debuff on it first, which could actually be kind of tricky because we can't put debuffs on it easily because this jerk is eating all our debuffs. Let's see, we can do this, which is not actually helping. We can... Trying to think how we even do this. Because, yeah, this guy is just being a big, big jerk. Let's see, if I do this, it doesn't quite kill, which is annoying. I guess we can take the health damage. And because that'll let us do this, which unfortunately does mean that I can't try and see if I can make the bug happen again, because I needed a full house for that to happen. Okay, could get another kill on this one. I could kill this one. Kind of just keep drawing cards and see, yeah, what I can do. Because I kind of want to try and see if I can get Lingering Ritual going. Although that seems unlikely at this stage. And now that's probably not... Oh, hey, cool, that was lethal. I wasn't sure, because I think it was dependent on criticals. I do like Mystic Ritual a lot, normally, but I think Treasure Map is more what this deck is up to. And now we're going to see if we can get Ice Shards. So we can show off another really dumb, unreasonable thing. I shouldn't have done that because this one's going to take forever to die. I think I'm pitching this one because, yeah, I want more cards. And I want to be able to chase. Okay. Dropping things. Let's Surprise Attack, which means that now Vulnerable is in play. Okay, so that happened again. Alright, drawing cards. I need to make space in hand, which we can do by doing some damage. Just gets his mana back. We do not have space for both of those. Let's see. I guess we're just doing that, even though we do not have enough space in hand. Well, that's unfortunate. Oh, we can do that, at least. And then I guess we just end turn. We unfortunately don't get to evade quite all these hits, but we do get to block the one we didn't evade, so. Alright, let's go Reckless Chase. Ambush those. Let's gain mana. See what we find and hope it's useful. That's going to give us stuff. There we go. More cards. Yeah, unfortunately, we can't afford that. We do just need a lot more mana, I think. Because this deck does tend to be very mana hungry the way I play it. So I'm going to do that. And then the question is, yeah, I think I am going to do that, even though it's very silly. And that's kind of what I was hoping to see. If not exactly that, then something similar. All right, unfortunately, I think this is where things get very bad, because I think we're about to get frozen. Yeah, we're going to have a real bad time now. Okay, well. I probably could have sequenced this better. This is... I have played this character a decent amount, but it is still not really an easy character to play in a lot of respects. Because you have a lot of management of hand size and cards and other things. There we go. Definitely, I could use more mana though. That's definitely part of my problem. I know I say that every few seconds, but it's true. Okay, there is mana in the deck. But I don't have space to draw it, really. Okay, cool. So, unfortunately, I want to finish these treasure maps, but I don't have space for the treasure. Until I've done that. Okay, I can now mark you, play that, and now Lingering Ritual is free. So, bye. Yeah, too much card draw, not enough mana to play all the cards. Which, you know, as problems go, drawing too many cards is a problem I like to have. I know I said I really need mana, but Ice Shards is so good at preventing what just happened to us. I think Sadly can go. I think it's just too much mana. This deck is already strapped on mana. I can't afford to be paying that much mana for that. I don't think I really want... No, I would take Devouring Strike. That would actually be pretty good. Because I am absolutely in the market for on-kill cards. Doing that just to turn this on. Trying to think, because I want to do this. And I want to get out so I think this should work the way I want it to. Oh no, because I actually did too much damage. So if I can get if I can freeze the shade before it dies, which means that I have to have the last hit. I have to do enough damage before the last hit. I can freeze the jerk. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be playing that this turn. This guy will also get frozen, is the point. But also, I'm going to just evade everything anyway. Because if this one dies, then there will be enough, I'll have enough evade stacks to just get the kill. Just so many treasures in hand. The Demonic Greed also probably needs to go, potentially. I don't hate playing this. Just, although it does mean that I don't play a treasure. Oh no, because I can do that in the Scroll of Recall. And now we just have to end turn. We get to evade both those hits. And we're off to the races again. I think we are going to duplicitome those two, just to make sure that we don't end up stuck here. And you die, which gets us more value. Devouring Strike. So Devouring Strike is great because it is going to be a way for us to heal. And then it turns into just a way to stack powerful. Again, because we're not stacking powerful enough. I think that's really the problem, is that I am not... Why did I do that? That was very dumb. I mean, I guess it gives us a vulnerable, but... Let's duplicitome these just to ensure that we can keep rolling this turn. Okay, that's very nice to see. As I mentioned, so this is a frozen, so now when it dies, it's going to freeze this back one. So now we have that. And yeah, you can see we just immediately freeze. And we didn't have to pay full retail for the freeze. Because the frozen was transferred by the level 7, which meant that we only needed 10 freeze to get that instead of 15. So we want to get the kill with this, which is actually not too difficult. We are just... okay. In this awkward position of needing the mana for it. Which we can get like that. So that heals us. Yeah. And we have to end turn. Still not too bad. Let's go set up more bleed over here, I think. We have a chance to crit, which is nice, just because that's bonus value. It's actually pretty unfortunate because we're not going to be able to get this kill, and then our evade has been kind of eaten up. Oh well. We do get to Intimidating Strike again. And that tripped the mark. Which we may not end up needing this turn. We will see. Okay, so this is just always going against the powerful. We don't actually need that this turn, so far. I mean, now we would like it, but we didn't know that at the time. So I think we're just going to do this into into that, which unfortunately I screwed up. I should have tried to get the last hits I needed so that I could avoid getting hit here. I am definitely not playing this optimally. You have a tendency to get too greedy on summons. None of this is mana. No, we'll reroll there for mana. For now, I think we just take the Sanctity. We are going to take the Permanent Powerful. We will upgrade, I think, the Predator's Focus. And we absolutely have to cut, I think, the Demonic Greed. Our hand just gets too full. I wonder if I actually remember to put the Royal Coffers in. I wouldn't be surprised if I forgot. Okay, so we don't have any space to summon, which is a bit annoying. Okay. So if we play this, we just take a lot of damage, which not really the thing I want to do, but it may be what we end up doing. But this also does damage to us. Oh no, because it's going to... Okay, but that time we actually did get the summon properly, so that's interesting. So this will heal us. And we applied the bleed from that. How much mana is left in the deck? Some. Decide if I want to just use this. No. I am not here to ever make the safe play. See, not punished. It's fine. Really, really not punished. Okay, so that will make you in range of that, which is even more powerful stacking. Okay, you have to burn those evades there, but 8x3 damage, which is exactly the amount of damage that you expect to get out of ice shards. We can... I don't have space in hand for everything I want to do. Okay, we can surprise attack just to keep that going. And then torn between, as always, getting greedy on draws and just getting value now. I'm going to get greedy because that is still who I am. I've been punished for my greed. In that case, we will go ahead and... Oh, not quite get that kill. We'll die now. There's a plated stack going up, but we have 9 powerful and counting, so that's not a real concern. So I believe that the way this works now is, and I want to actually do this just to be safe, if this dies, that it can transfer over to, yeah, the actual Phoenix, which is very useful to us. Although I don't actually have a way to really get value out of that right now. Intimidating, which is always nice. You can draw more cards. Yeah, we can just get that much damage out. That seems okay. Did I pop this at some point? Yes. Okay. So I'd be concerned, but we have 6 evasion. This thing can only eat 2 per turn. So, yeah, I wouldn't say that this run is a particularly good run, but it's hard to say that it hasn't been going well. For all that it has been a mess. We just kind of have so much nonsense going on that we just sort of tick through problems. Favorus, we do not have a way to sustain right now, and we just want the mana anyway. Alright, that should help a lot. In theory, the danger that we are at here now is that we will alright, let's see. This will kill. But I do still want to get... Yeah, so that will freeze, which means that we're able to transfer a freeze over. And so we can keep ticking. Pitch that. Get Devouring Strike off for the massive heal. Which I suppose is a way that we could have maintained that other thing, but... And then I want to Scroll of Recall. Okay, well that's pretty unfortunate. And there's no point in even playing that. Okay, so we get hit. Oh no, because we have... Do we have a passive evade chance from something? Yes, we've got a 5% evade chance that just kicks in. Okay. And Shocking Focus also benefits from the sheer amount of powerful that we've stacked. I think we need that Raj. I think we are fine without it. Let's see. I'm going to Duplicitome those two. So my goal here is I'm going to kill that, because I want to be able to get as big of a hit as possible on this one. Which means we're going to do bonk, 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 and then finish him off. And then, because I have Duplitomed, I have more damage to do. There we go. It's not worth a reroll here. I would rather reroll the boss card here. Arcane Strike seems okay. Oh man, Tiny Book is great. Tiny Book is way better than Cleansing Pearl. Okay, Drakes don't care. Ooh, Phoenix Egg. Do we want to roll for another Shocking Focus, or do we just want to take the upgrade? The answer is probably that we just want to go for the upgrade and just upgrade another mana card. I may actually upgrade Tricky Focus at this point. Although, no, I'll take the 50% chance to get another Shocking Focus. Shocking Focus is just so good. Okay. Alright. Okay, so we can apply Vulnerable here, which I think, yeah, we'll turn that on. Now they have Tiny Book. We can do that. And just spray up, get a shock. That's not going to be a kill though. Not yet. That was not a great use of the shocked, but I don't really care. I want to have hand space is the thing. So I think we're doing that. So I have space, so I can do that summon. And we're going to pitch this. Detonation, and then we get the kill. We get debuffed, but we have plenty of value. I think we're actually going to pitch the phase mark. Okay, that's actually amazing. That's just a lot of free damage. And we could do lots more damage. And we can just kind of ignore shocked, and you'll see this when we get to the next fight as well, because the idea here is I'm just going to have evasion, and that's how I am going to deal with any shock stacks that I pick up. Is I'm just going to evade the incoming damage. And we win by playing treasure. Alright, let's see if we paid off. Okay, I don't know that there's anything at this point that I want to cut. I'm so-so on the phase mark still. It's not the most inspiring card. Linger Ritual, no, I don't need Sanctity, really. I'm going to just count on not needing Sanctity, and there's no way that I will ever get punished for that. Alright, and apparently while this was going on, one day managed to possibly fix the bug. So, that will not be in the live version. One day being the dev, in case I haven't said that out loud recently. This works. So we do have to find space in hand, always, for stuff. I don't want to play this until I've got a minion out that I can hit with it. Okay. Okay, so that's now lethal. And we now have plenty of treasures. And now we have even more treasures. And we have some bleed. And we're going to get to freeze this guy. So, you know, just really coming up aces all around. Temporary evasion, that probably won't mean anything. Summon another minion. We can kill our new minion. Oh man, I didn't realize this is now turned on. I do probably want to duplicate this, actually, at some point. I don't think I want to duplicate it right now. I can duplicate it on another turn. Boom. Right, there's the trip for the second half of the fight, which is not that big a deal. Okay, let me actually duplicate him here just to get space. No, I can afford to pitch that because I have other things. Okay. We can apply bleed and do that. We'll pop off one of those plated stacks. I'm just going to have to do this so that I can make sure that I get the polemic focus off. Oh, right. The Inventum would have ensured it. Well. It's fine. Yeah. But, like, we have so many evasion stacks that even if we hadn't killed there, we would have been fine. Okay, Dragon Form is very good, but I don't know if it's what we want. I think we may just take Aerial Stratagem. This doesn't do anything for us. This doesn't do a ton for us. We don't mind having less max shield though, so it's actually kind of useful for us in some ways. I think I want to upgrade one of the treasure maps. It's that or I upgrade one of the whatevers. I think I'm going to upgrade treasure map. I think I don't need Arcane Strike going forward. I think that was the thing I mostly wanted for whatever fight. We were fighting Maw, which could be tricky, but I'm not too worried because we're doing nonsense. And I exist to do nonsense. Okay, we can get vulnerable. We don't quite have lethal yet. We would ideally like be able to ensure lethal before we do whatever. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, still not lethal. Still not lethal. We can discard 2 things with that. Which, actually double toming that and the treasure would have made sense. But that opportunity is passed. Kill that, and then we can intimidating strike for value. So I think I want to spend my mana, and then, because this is going to burn up some of my mana, I just want to go ahead and save a little bit of mana, because I could. So I can kill you. I can do this, which will be useful. Go ahead and start getting freeze out. We do really want to end this fight this turn, because otherwise we're going to start stacking poison on ourselves once this thing gets below whatever. So Forbidden Rites is the big card that we don't have yet that we kind of would love to have. But, alright, we can't play any of this. But we aren't poisoned, so this is fine. We get to evade all these hits. Now we're poisoned, but... Alright. And then we can play that, and we can do this. So turn that on. Alright, and we're off to the races. I think we kill that one, just to get it out of the way. Alright, we can pitch this for value. This will do solid work. Because we are now extremely poisoned, so we do want to end this fight basically now, which we can do. Adaptative spell is good with everything. Arms Race is okay actually, though, and adaptative spell, because of the fatigue, becomes worse in this deck than it is in others. It's still very good, but... Okay, so the other note here is I would ideally like to... Oh, I'm not going to be able to hit any events in the back half, because I think the new Super Boss is tied to specifically finding an event in the back half of the map. So... Okay, so this guy's a jerk, and potentially going to cause us problems. So, kind of priority 1 is getting that guy going. But I don't know how we're going to do that. Because that's not going to kill. I'm going to do this. Okay, that's also not going to kill, but we don't really need to flip that. I think popping that is more important. Okay, when we play this, we will get attacked again. So I kind of want to get some evasion up, but that's fine. So now we have this. Like, Ice Shards is obviously the piece that would do the most to help us out here. I think we are going to copy these two. And so the plan is we bleed those. Oh, I should have done this first if I was going to do it. We're going to pitch those two. And then because we discarded that, we will do a lot of damage. But we are not quite... Okay, that's unfortunate that we can't play that. And we aren't in a place that we can line up the other thing. Okay, so I think we're going to take a little bit of damage here, but it shouldn't be too much. Okay, good. That wasn't vulnerable. If that was vulnerable, we could have had problems from that arcane detonating. This one didn't set up Opportunist again during any of its turns, which is also very useful to us. So we can get that kill. Oh, I should have used this while I had the chance. Okay, I don't think we need 2 of those. How much is this doing? 6x3? I think we can do better than that. Okay, that's now lethal. Okay, and that bug happened again. But one day is working on it. And we can do this, and we won't lose any mana to it because we didn't have any mana to spare. Oh, right. Aether Mantle. That's what happened there. Aether Mantle does damage whenever we play a card that plays status. There we go. We absolutely are rerolling here and taking Clear Focus. Because not only is it a great mana card, if the Maw fight goes south, we will need it. This guy's still a jerk. That helps. And we can do this, which will freeze you, and thus make you not a threat. That's a kill, which is nice. That's not a kill. So that's 21. We need a little more. I want to discard this, but I don't have space in hand. Because that's plus... Now I do. Because that's plus 4 cards. Or whatever. Do that, which is partially overkill, but I wanted to be able to do this, which I didn't do because I was very braining. My brain is real goodly. It always works perfectly. Right, now that's lethal. That's all my health back. Should have done that first. This is getting cheaper, which is nice. I think we made Duplatome it, but I don't really have space in hand yet. And like I would like it to cost 0. I think we're actually going to play the front side of this for value. And then we can Duplatome those 2. And so that will kill that front one. And that will do that. And we can just finish off. There we go. I guess now's the time to find out if Mana Bolt's going to do anything for us. I am worried about what Fatigue is going to do. And then this fight is another one of those where, like, the fact that we don't have any space to summon is going to be annoying. Yeah, we're not even going to try and get a freeze off immediately. I will, though, do that. Deciding what's going to get pitched to that. I think I'm actually going to pitch that. I don't think I'm getting a kill this turn. Although that could be wrong. Yeah, I've got to discard that. Because I do want to get this much mana at least. I should have wailed on that one to try and get it whatever down, but I really want to get one of these kills off, because if we can kill one, the fight just starts going a lot better for us. because we just want to be able to clear up space, obviously. Okay, we're going to eat this damage here from the backlash of not getting the kill. I think we actually do have the spare for health, though, technically. So, but yeah, we are kind of very reliant on finding, because that's not lethal, on getting through this front one. And this is just going to be a problem with a lot of Shah'Ru decks, is that you are in this position where you have a deck that is doing very good things as long as, yeah, I had to heat that hit. That's doing very good things as long as it can summon, but if it can't summon, it can't stack powerful. And if it can't stack powerful, it can't do its thing. And once again, like, I don't think we're going to actually end up keeping this just because it doesn't do enough to help us. I think we're actually going to pitch that as well. Okay. We're going to discard that. We're going to do some damage. That's going to get us very close to the kill. I don't want to risk the debuffs not transferring, I think. Which is why I did that. We are absolutely going to try and devour this one, though. Because we want that health back. Let's pitch the rummage. Let's draw some cards. We are now shocked, but I believe we are now past the point where that is a problem, because we have made it into the portion of the fight where we do actually get to do our thing. And just kind of style on the jerk. We're not going to be able to use that. And that is what I was talking about, where it's like the fatigue means that this shows up and it costs 11 and now we can't get any value out of it. We're going to copy these two. And now if we play... So we're actually going to sequence this very carefully, so that we can get to 0, so I can use this. Did not end up mattering, but... Oh no, it might, because if this doesn't crit, then I want to be able to finish off. There we go. Okay, Hexing Strike. Oh man, I need the Forbidden Rites though. Forbidden Rites is just so good. We cannot take that. The upgrade is... I think the other treasure map. Treasure map has done very good work. Since we're now definitely not on the Hexing Strike, I think we do cut the phase mark. I think it is a little bit awkward. The fact that it is only drawing 1, and it is so bad if we don't... If we get draw it with fatigue. I probably will cut the Mana Bolt, potentially. But I want to give it another chance, because that first fight wasn't really the best... wasn't really giving it a fair shake, I would say. So I'm going to pitch that first, because I want to get Ice Shards up before I pitch Aerial Stratagem. And I also want that. Okay, let's do this. Let's do a little bit of damage. Okay, because I'm hoping to get treasures out of this. Like so. Okay. I think there's a chance I can actually get this off. Yeah. Because now we are very close to being able to get that off. But we aren't quite there yet, which is unfortunate because we're kind of out of time. Oh, that worked. Okay, so this is actually net positive on mana. And that actually makes it even better. Now this can get us, that's actually a decent amount of mana gain. Okay, yeah, that actually worked out pretty well. We can go bonk, 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 get our health back. And yeah, the Lingering Ritual is just a very good option to have just sitting in our back pocket for when it becomes relevant. We can't play that still, because we have a summon out, and we only have room for one summon in this fight. I don't think this one's going to be useful again, though, but weirder things have happened. So we can play that. We can do that. I mean, I guess that was actually still okay on mana. Value. Okay. And this is the part where we do plateau. We do still have a couple enemies to get through. Or not a couple enemies, we still have quite a bit of health to get through, but you go away real quick when you are doing this level of nonsense. And now we will be able to kill with just the reactive shiv. And now we get us to full health. That's not really the card I want. Is there any other rerolls that I'm going to want to take? I don't think so. I think I am going to go ahead and reroll here and take the Dig Through Muck. And Serrated Cleaver is going to be incredibly good. I don't have any cuts that I want to make because I am lazy. Fade Barrier isn't actually the best thing when we get to... if we were fighting Bay later, I would keep the Fade Barrier, but I think... actually, who are we fighting here? Okay, it's that fight. I think we may skip this fight in favor of this one, just because this fight's going to be faster and I don't need anything out of the other one. Like, getting value from discarding the Fade Barrier is nice, but I don't think that that is quite where we are going to be at this point. Yeah, we'll pitch the Resolute Focus. Okay, and we just have space for another summon, so we will take it. Just have to make sure I have room in hand before I use the Tricky Focus, because this is worth 1, this is worth 2, so that's a net +1. +1 from, yeah, okay, so we end up with just enough hand space because of the reactive shiv. I always forget to count the reactive shiv and then I usually get punished. But in this case, I didn't. All right, there's our Devouring Strike off. Because the bleed, we are getting so much extra bleed is where a lot of this extra damage is coming from. I'm killing you. Right, so that will shock things, which means that is now worth a decent amount of mana. And we are at the point where we can play this, which is fun. So that's probably going to happen at some point. Just pick one of those. We can just, I think that just kills you. Yeah. And then we can, I guess, do that. Because this isn't quite lethal on the back one yet. Just going to duplicate them though, because now we can play it twice. And one of them may not be lethal, but 2 of them definitely is. And if we get a crit, which we did, the critical was also going to be lethal. I think I just want another Tricky Focus. Those are just very, very good. All right. Draw a card, see what we find. Discard. I think the clear focus. We can reactive shift, which will turn on the predator's focus. We can forbidden knowledge. We can't use this usefully yet, but we can discard that for value. This is just net neutral on mana, but I think that's actually fine for us. Let's actually see what we get here. I may end up pitching one of these. Nope, those are actually very good tools. So okay, that's not quite lethal. We're actually going to pitch this Contemplate, which not normally a thing that I'm super keen on doing. 27, that is not quite enough, but if we draw a card, it will be. Oh, we could also get that out. So I think we're going to start with this, then that. And then this is lethal. So go ahead and do that. So unfortunately, the hidden means that this isn't a guaranteed kill. Like, it's a probable kill, but that's not the same thing. But still, we will duplicitome and see if we can get, because if we can kill the back one, that'll put a bunch of bleed on the front one. And if either of these hit, there we go. We did get that hit. And then Kerplunk. Okay. This lets us get guaranteed crits, which is nice. And the Predator is actually pretty valuable. I think I only want to deal with one snail today. I think I'm going to deal with double snail. We can go bonk, bonk, bonk. And that will do a lot. Just go ahead and plunk you out of existence. This will not do as much damage as I would like. But I guess it does some. At least breaks even on mana. But yeah, I haven't been super impressed with it so far, but I probably haven't given it the most fair chance. I think this is the point where I discard that. Since that lets me get out. Oh, I shouldn't have used that way. Missed out on value. That will shock all of you jerks. I go bonk. And use this to get another kill if I want to. Oh man. Freezes for everyone. This will not... I still don't have enough hand space for the treasure maps. But if I play quickly... There we go. I successfully defeated the quick time event. Let's get more ice shards up. Oh no, that's right. The freeze didn't originally come from ice shards. That's trying to figure out how all that worked out. Yeah, this has ended up doing very good work for me so far, I would say. Okay, we're absolutely cleansing that at some point. We are very poisoned, but we're not, thanks to the cleanse partially, we are not so poisoned that it's going to be a huge deal. And now we duplicitome that and that, sure. Oh, that's unfortunate. I wasn't paying enough attention to my cards in hand. Duplicitome was totally wasted. So fortunately, I believe that this is actually still break even, which is very funny to me. We do that, then we can't quite afford this, which is a shame, but Yeah, 24 guaranteed damage, which means that is guaranteed like +9 mana, which seems pretty good. Is that's 13x3. That's lethal. Which is more powerful. And now that is 15x3. So that's lethal. Now we've got to deal with this jerk, who does have several debuffs, most notably 24 bleed. And yeah, we have 9 evasion on us, so we are totally fine with whatever. All right. And we have guaranteed crits, which is fun. Donk donk, and there we go. Okay. I think we should take the mind sap. I think we actually cut the mind sap. Well, what are we cutting here? Mana Bolt actually has done okay work. I don't think... Well, the Devouring Strike does gives powerful once it flips, but I think overall that's relatively low value. Just get max mana as well. That's actually totally fine. Let's get some... Oh man, that's actually very good. I would love to have that instead of that. I didn't even look at the other items really, but Lucky Die is just such a good item on this character that... Oh man, that's also very good. Because we are absolutely... Normally Ancient Statue is useless going into this boss, but in this case, that's not that useful. Okay, so here we go. Let's see if we can win this fight. This has been a relatively long run, but... let's see, go ahead and start getting the bleed set up. Get poison set up. Okay, so we can only have one summon at a time because of this thing is actually 3 spaces wide. So we're gonna pitch this, which will actually get us an extra mana, and it's gonna take some of our shield, but we don't really care about the shield, so it's all upside as far as we're concerned. Go ahead and get this out. Interesting. Poison is actually pretty nice. Let's get surprise attack out. So now we have guaranteed crits on the boss, which is nifty. We can get... I think we're going to use that shock there, so we just get a bajillion mana. We need space in hand, which is tricky. Yeah, if I pitch that, we have too many cards in hand still. How do I get rid of cards? I guess I play that instead, which is not normally what I do, but in this case, I think I kind of have to. And then we'll pitch a treasure. I do want to get the kill with that. More guaranteed crits on the boss. Set up more bleed that will transfer over to the boss. We are going to duplicate that at some point. Well, now's an okay time to... What else is in the deck? Yeah, I don't really want to duplicate that, so... I guess we're going to duplicate those two. I think I do want to do that, though. Bonk. And bonk. Yeah. Serrated Cleaver is doing just so much work here. Like, I don't think we would have been in the worst shape without it, but definitely having it is a huge part of why we're able to pull off the nonsense we are. And yeah. Because it's just worth so much damage cumulatively over the course of the fight. Intimidating Strike is not worthwhile to us anymore. That actually is, which is hilarious. Oh, but we do have to have mana for it. Now we do. And we can get 30 mana back. And there we go. That's a win. Okay, so I would call that. We didn't end up with any accessories. That's hilarious. But yeah, so that was a turn 1 kill against Maw. So, and that was post nerfs. So character is definitely still very, very powerful. You saw that we had some fights that were worse. The deck is a bit clunky. I need to figure out how to refine it a bit better. Part of that was card choices. Early on we had some mana issues. Later on we had hand issues. I'm currently not running that many of the cards that outright discard, and that may be a mistake. It is possible that we need more cards that discard without replacing themselves, just so that we have ways to clear out our hand. The problem with that is fatigue a lot of the time. Because ideally we want things that are 0 cost to discard, but if we have things that cost 0 to discard, then things that cost 0 and do discards are usually mana cards, and the mana cards that discard are, like, Siphon Card is the only real option there. I guess we could put Siphon Card in the pool, maybe. A Siphon Card Plus would do good work. But, like, because Streaky Focus doesn't help us with our full hand problem. But overall, deck went very well. Very happy with that run. I will see you guys next time, I guess. Toodles.